What's going on, everyone? So what an absolute masterclass last night by the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, this was a real effort across the board from the coaching staff to the actual players on the roster. I mean, everyone showed up, everyone delivered. The coaching staff knew the game plan, knew the scheme, knew how they wanted to attack the Denver Nuggets on both the offensive side of things and the defensive side of things. The players were prepared, they were ready, they showed up, and they delivered. It was as good of a game as you could expect from the Lakers on both sides of the basketball. The effort and energy was there. That's why I said I thought the Lakers could win this game. Right? Did a whole video about Luca and the Lakers, right? And I talked about how Luca, who led this team, right? How if he was ever going to kind of wake up, it would be against Denver. Right? He loves to play Denver, and he loves to play his buddy Jokic, right? So if he was ever going to have that, like, hey, I'm back, that establishment game with the Lakers, this would have been the game. He did that. Check. Right? Said that the Lakers, they love to play their competition. I know that they've looked sloppy. This game was set up in a dozen ways for the Lakers to lose. Lakers have not looked good recently, right? They have no center, no way to properly contain Jokic. Denver's on a 6-game win streak. They're in Denver. Lakers haven't beaten them in years, right? Like, it's one of those things that everything was just this stew of just like Lakers could get smacked. And I said they love to play their competition. I believe that they're going to show up. I believe that they're going to lock in, take this serious. You know, I said I wouldn't bet on it, but for the Lakers to beat Denver, but I wouldn't be shocked. I didn't think the Lakers would smack them the way that they did. I mean, they dominated that game in every facet. But I want to talk about Luka, right? Because look, there is a lot you could take away from this game, a lot of just talking points in this game. But the reason I want to talk about Luka is because there was so much slander, right? So much just overreaction to Luka these last few games by Laker fans. I mean, I made a whole video about it. And I said, Luka's going to end up having that game, that establishment game, and I said it's probably against Denver, and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, Luka's this, he's that, oh my goodness, blah, blah, blah. Instead of just not overreact, like, understand the situation. Context matters. The reason I want to talk about this again, the reason I want to bring this up, the reason I want to use this as a talking point is because I do think it's important. We're very spoiled. Right, we've had the luxuries, the nightlife. We have this certain standard and expectation, which is fine, right? But again, context matters. Right? The reason I wasn't worried about Luka, the reason I kept talking about Luka in a positive light is because you saw everything you wanted to see, and you look at the context, it was fine, right? Luka wasn't great scoring the basketball, but he was great offensively. Differences, right? Like, he was getting to all of his spots. He was creating dribble penetration. He was collapsing defenses. He was getting a step back going. He was shooting over the top. He was doing everything you wanted to see. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net. The last thing we should be worried about is his offense. If he had struggles beating guys off the dribble or creating that dribble penetration or getting the separation to get his shot off, that'd be a little concerning. That's not what happened here. Right? And it's very important because I talk about the overreactions, the pendulum swing, as I always talk about, right? Like, we need to understand and really see what is the real truth here, right? What was more likely, that Luka just magically became washed and became a bum after averaging 28 points a game with the Dallas Mavericks a month ago? Or that he missed 6 weeks, came back for 2 games with minute restrictions, then had another week off, so literally played 2 games in a 7-week span, right? And then came back for another game. And like, again, context matters. He played 3 games total in a 7-week span before this Denver game. Right? Could that be why he had his struggles? Right? Like, that. And what else, huh? Oh, by the way, he's on a brand new team. Right? Like, it's easy. Like, why did guys like Dorian Finney-Smith immediately come in and play perfect for the Lakers and was everything the Lakers need? And it was like he's been on the team his whole career. because he's a role player, right? He's made a career and built a career playing a very specific role. So he comes to a team like the Lakers, and it's like, yeah, you know that thing you've done your entire career? Yeah, do that here. And he can do it. But when you integrate a superstar who's used to playing a specific way, having a certain standard, getting X amount of shot attempts, so on and so forth, it's very hard to integrate that. It takes time. It's usually why when stars team up together, there's a learning curve. And then you add in the fact that Luka is one of the most on-ball, ball-dominant, high-usage players in the history of the league, even more so than LeBron in his prime. And you don't think that there'd be a little bit of a hiccup? A little bit like, hey, he had 5 turnovers in the first quarter. Oh, but then he cleaned it up, right? Yeah, he struggled to find the bottom of the net, but he got all the shots off, right? Like, it wasn't like he was just like throwing stuff up. Like, no, they were good shots. He was getting to his spots. He just couldn't hit the shot. There's a difference. Eventually, that was going to play itself out, right? This was Luka. This is the Luka we traded for. This is the Luka magic that we knew was in there. I mean, not only did he have, drop 32, he had 10 rebounds and 7 assists. Oh, and 4 steals, and he was really good defensively. Everyone told me he's a traffic cone, and I said he's not that bad. He's going to be serviceable, not going to be elite. He's not going to be Jared Vanderbilt or Dorian Finney-Smith, but he'll be good enough. What was he tonight? Or last night, right? Good enough. And that's all you need. Can you just stay in frame? Can you keep guys in front of you? Can you not get blown by every possession? He's going to have bad moments. He's going to have bad games. He's going to have bad stretches, but more often than not, can you keep guys in your frame? Yes or no? Well, we saw him do it against Denver. We also saw him do it in the previous game that he played, right? Until he got into foul trouble, which was the Hornets game, right? And then he got into foul trouble, and then they hunted him. And he still got a stop on Mark Williams, created a turnover on another possession, and then the open 3 that everyone blames on him wasn't him. It was Rui's lack of rotation. Luka was on the strong side. The 3 happened on the weak side. He was on the completely opposite side, right? And he was up top. That was the corner 3. That's not his man. That's there. The guy who's supposed to watch the corner, which was Rui at the time, right? He's not going to be elite defensively, but he's going to be good enough, which is all you can ask for. Just be good enough defensively, because he's going to be really good everywhere else. And again, he's still on one of the worst offensive nights we've ever seen from him. What did he still do? He still nearly gave you a triple-double, right? Like, again, I just, it wasn't, my problem was that it was Laker fans, right? I understand if we were 20 games in and he was still having those struggles, or 10 games in or whatever. But 3 games. And I said in the video that I made, talking about the Luka slander from fans, a lot of fans are going to look very silly. A lot of people are speaking way too quickly. A lot of people are about to have a lot of egg on their face because they couldn't be patient and wait a 4th game, right? Like, again, like, make it make sense. And I see a lot of the same people that were talking a lot of mess about Luka. All of a sudden, there he is. That's the guy. Like, again, I understand we have this expectation. I understand we have this standard for Lakers players, and we should, right? Again, like, Luka, what do we expect from him? Winning championships, without a doubt. Were these last 3 games NBA Finals games? Did he just get to the team? Right? Like, again, context is important. I love that we as an organization have those standards, and we hold the organization and our players to that standard. I've been very critical on players, right? I've criticized LeBron. I've criticized Austin Reeves. I've criticized D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Anthony Davis, right? You name it. Because no one's above criticism, but context matters, right? Like, the situational awareness matters. I'm not going to criticize Luka when he's missed 7 weeks and got to a new team and hasn't played and is coming off injury, and like, it's a long list, right, of things, of factors that matter. Again, it's fine to have that context, but us just jumping the gun so quickly, it's silly. It's silly. And it makes us look bad as an organization and fans. Right? I mean, look at what Patrick Beverley said about Laker fans and stuff. You look at the Luka situation, he was right. And it shouldn't be that way. And that's not good for other players and other teams and stuff. Right? Like, it's like, do you really want to be the scapegoat for everything? Right? Like, again, just understand the situation. That's all I'm asking. Right? And I know that these type of videos fall on deaf ear more often than not to most people. But I do think that there are some people that have came around. I think there are some people that, again, have changed the perspective of a couple. I love that we have the standard. I love that we have the expectations. I love that we have the expectancy because we've been so blessed and have had this luxury and been very privileged as Laker fans. But again, perspective matters. Details matter. And we gotta do a better job of just understanding a situation. Let the guy come around. Remember, we're not out of the woods yet. He could just leave. And if he thinks like Laker Nation can't stand me, why would he want to stick around? I don't want to see Luka leave. Right? I want to see Luka be a Laker and win multiple championships on the Laker. And us be relevant for the next, 10 years. Right? But why would he want to stick around with a fan base that doesn't like him? That 3 games in, they're already talking about him being washed up in a bum. Like, those things matter. But again, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? I feel, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot, so we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.